On va parler vite fait de ce qu'il y a. Ce mois-ci, ce qui nous avait été promis, c'est les grosses choses. C'est une nouvelle forteresse, la guilde, un système de maîtrise avec les niveaux du pilote ou un truc comme ça. Beaucoup d'événements en plus, événements free-play. Et des rajouts, pas mal de choses, Ce qu'on a, c'est la moitié. Et à 22 h, en théorie, on va regarder ça, on va essayer de pas le louper. On va regarder le stream, parce que les développeurs doivent nous donner une explication. Donc ils ont, ce mois-ci, ça va jusqu'au 30, on a encore 7 jours exactement. Donc ils ont encore 7 jours pour ajouter la suite. Donc, nous avons le nouveau... la nouvelle forteresse, il n'y a pas de problème. Maintenant, apparemment, on va pouvoir sélectionner les contrats et tout ça. On va pouvoir récupérer les contrats, en fait, sur l'écran où on récupère... Où on peut choisir, en fait, les contrats. On n'a pas besoin de faire tout le tour de Fort Tarsis pour récupérer les 3 contrats légendaires à chaque fois. Donc ça, c'est bien. On va pouvoir lancer... Expédition... On peut lancer des nouvelles missions... sans... La musique est trop forte, calmez-vous. Sans avoir à retourner à Fort Tarsis, ce qui est bien hein, dans un jeu qui est massivement multijoueur du coup. Donc tu vas pouvoir garder ton équipe et relancer une mission directement après, ça c'est cool, vraiment cool. Maintenant on va pouvoir utiliser la forge en mission, en forteresse et en freeplay. Ça c'est cool. Tu vas pouvoir changer ton équipement. Je pense pas que tu vas pouvoir changer ton javelin par contre, mais tu vas pouvoir changer... ton équipement pendant que tu joues, pendant que tu es sorti en fait. Donc ça c'est cool, ça c'est vraiment cool. Ce sont des très bonnes choses, ce sont des très bonnes choses, sauf qu'il manque tout le reste, c'est ça le problème. Après il y a des nouveaux composants Masterwork et légendaire, tout ça, c'est les 3 qui manquaient. On verra ça plus tard, c'est pas vraiment intéressant. Pas mal de petits rajouts. Des améliorations par rapport à certaines armes, les pourcentages ont... En fait, tout est plus puissant, en gros. Pareil pour les intercepteurs, les javelins, on a des choses qui ont été augmentées, ça c'est cool. Il y a aussi des trucs sympas, il y a ça que j'ai vu, c'était sympa. On va pouvoir tirer à travers les javelins amis. Donc en gros, par exemple, moi je me mettais souvent devant les commandos qui balançaient leurs roquettes. Ils vont pouvoir tirer la roquette à travers moi, du coup. Donc ça c'est bien. Il y a ça qui est intéressant. Et voilà. Voilà. Après, c'est des fixes, des petits fixes et des trucs sympathiques. Mais en tout cas, de ce que j'ai noté, des choses importantes, voilà, c'est tout. C'est tout. Donc, on verra plus en jeu, hein, quand on va le lancer dans, genre dans 2 minutes. Donc, on verra ça plus en jeu. Mais voilà, est-ce que c'est un bon patch? C'est un très très bon patch. C'est un très très bon patch. Le fait de pouvoir relancer les missions après que t'aies fini la première mission, etc. Le fait de pouvoir changer ton équipement, même pas en rentrant à Fort Tarsis, genre en mission tu peux le changer. Vraiment cool. Tout ça, ce sont des bonnes améliorations pour un jeu multijoueur. Qui devait déjà être à la base, honnêtement. On en revient toujours à ça. Mais les gens vont pas être contents. Les gens vont pas être contents. Les gens vont gueuler à mort. Parce qu'il manque, encore une fois, la guilde et toutes les choses en fait qui ont été promis. Donc, ouais. Ça va être un carnage leur stream. Cool. On est prêt. J'ai rien à dire d'autre. On est prêt, on va passer en plein écran sans la cam. Donc je vais essayer de traduire au mieux en temps... Pendant qu'il parle, c'est un peu chiant, donc si jamais je loupe des trucs et que vous voyez que j'ai loupé des trucs, dites-le moi dans les commentaires. Mais voilà, on va faire au mieux. Oh, Ben Irving! Tu vas te faire lyncher! Désolé. Ah putain. Ah, il y a Jesse.
Welcome to another Anthem live stream. Today we're going to be taking you through our brand new stronghold which launched today, the Sunken Cell. I've got two special guests making their first appearance here on the stream, so introduce yourself.
My name is Ben Scott. I'm the level design lead on Anthem.
Hey everybody, I'm Jen Chevry. I am a producer working with the World Team on Anthem.
Ben Irving a pas voulu venir parce qu'il a eu peur.
So I'm sure a lot of the viewers have probably already jumped in and seen the stronghold. We did have some unfortunate things last week.
Oh.
Connection problems, some people. But yeah, that really.
What? Que se passe-t-il?
Happened, and others were like, no, they probably didn't want to go on there. No, really, we had some connection issues. The SWTOR stream had to be canceled. So anyway, today we're going to take you through, show you some things. We're going to talk a little bit more kind of behind the scenes look of what it took to make the Sunken Cell. And so let's go ahead and jump in here to the gameplay. We've got AJ on the...
Alors, excusez-moi, on va baisser leur... On va baisser leur qualité.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you can maybe give some perspectives. If you had an interceptor. So anyway, Jen, I think you could probably set us up pretty good for the story of what's going on here with this Sunken Cell, if you want to share a little bit of information.
Yeah, definitely. So we have received a new Corvus mission from Seb. You can go and talk to Seb in the bar if you like before you enter the stronghold. So some new Corvus intel has come in. We found Harkin's facility. Now, if you remember, Dr. Harkin was the Dominion Arcanist who was responsible for setting off the Heart of Rage. He was the guy that led the Dominion into the Battle of Freemark. You remember that awesome cinematic that Yarrow leads you through early on in the game. So anyways, we found his facility. And remember, Corvus is kind of our CIA in our world, very focused on the Dominion. So your goal as a freelancer here is to investigate whatever it is that Harkin was working on and stop the Dominion from getting their hands on it.
Alors, petite parenthèse vite fait pour ceux qui n'ont pas compris. En gros, elle explique tout simplement l'histoire du donjon qu'on a déjà eu grâce à Sev pendant qu'on le fait. Un truc qui est très très mauvais, c'est qu'ils parlent de rien d'autre. Ils disent seulement qu'ils vont expliquer l'histoire du donjon et le montrer. Ah, c'est pas bon signe.
What we really wanted to do with this was have a stronghold that even leaned heavier into the verticality and the traversal that Anthem is well known for. And so in this one, you kind of start, a lot of times, you'd think you'd start top and go down. This one, you kind of actually start at the bottom and you're working your way up through this facility. But it is, the theme is essentially, this thing has been underwater for, centuries, theoretically. And at some point, the Dominion discovered this and used it as a base to do some experiments, and the result of those experiments led up to the destruction of Freemark through the device that Harkin attached to the cenotaph.
C'est l'histoire qu'on a eue en donjon, hein. Ça sert vraiment à rien de la traduire.
What they were actually doing, and they've left some things here, not necessarily intentionally, but you get to, as we'll go through, we'll see some of those experiments or shut down paper relics now reawaken.
Oh putain, Ben Scott, mais casse-toi quoi. Oh la vache. C'est horrible de l'écouter.
Yeah, the area is supposed to be really volatile. There's be abominations, brewing cataclysms.
Gotcha. So yeah, so I know there's like different, and we'll see them later, but all sorts of different creatures too. Like it's not just the Dominion.
Right, so it's Dominion, but there's also a bunch of creatures that are a result of some of these, cataclysm-like, events that take place in these rooms that have these,
excuse-moi, est-ce que t'es en train de mentir?
And that they've kind of reawoken. One of the things here.
À part du Dominion, des chiens du Dominion, des brutes et une furie géante, il n'y a pas grand-chose. Hein. Le mec, il est en train de dire qu'il y a des monstres bizarres et tout ça, enfin non. À moins qu'il parle de la furie. Je sais pas. Enfin bref. Les élémentaires, ils existaient déjà. Enfin oui, t'as les acides, ils existaient déjà avec le boss du dernier donjon. Après t'as les électriques. C'est tout.
Yeah, like I said, the environment team, really just went delivered something that a lot of us expected. Because it is, wow, it's, in my opinion, it's even above and beyond done this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I like the...
Forward, so.
Oh mon dieu, qu'est-ce qu'ils sont chiants à écouter, oh la vache. Oh putain.
You can get people who just kind of run ahead and leave you behind.
Yeah.
This kind of forces you all to work more.
Right. Yeah. So the areas of combat here are meant to be a little bit more distinct, a little bit more defined. But yeah, it's more of that again that cell approach, right? Each one of these is a cell, so it's just that moment of combat or complication trying to get through.
Yeah. So it looks like they're doing a little puzzle here with pressure plates. There's more puzzles and kind of things to do in this, right? In terms of just kill bad guys.
Yeah, I mean it's always a tough balance, right? Between well, I feel like I'm just killing everything all the time, or I feel like I'm doing way too many things that are not combat.
Right.
So hopefully we've hit a good balance. I'm sure the community will let us know if we've gone one way or the other, or we've hit the right balance. But yeah, so what they're doing now is one of the new gameplay activities that we added, which is essentially kind of like
Ben Scott est au bord du suicide. Je suis désolé si je parle un peu sur ce qu'ils sont en train de dire maintenant, mais honnêtement, c'est pas intéressant parce que ils vendent ultra mal le nouveau donjon. En 10 minutes, moi je l'ai vendu beaucoup mieux et c'est beaucoup plus fun quoi. Mais là, il y a rien à traduire quoi. Honnêtement, c'est chiant. Là, ils sont. Tu traduis pas vraiment. Il y a rien à dire. Ils sont en train de faire le puzzle. Voilà, ils nous ont dit qu'il y avait un puzzle et que c'était assez nouveau par rapport aux anciens donjons. Bah ouais, c'est nouveau, c'est cool, mais le mec là, il est en train de dormir sur place quoi.
You know, if AJ wanted to right now, I mean, he's flying around trying not to die, but he could go in and access the forge right now and change.
Maintenant, ils vont parler de la forge, qu'on peut accéder à la forge en plein milieu du combat, ça c'est cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, certainly, it's one of those things where, you know, we're very much trying to listen to the community and take the game in a direction that the community wants to go. I think this is one of those things that we realized we could do in a reasonably short amount of time. And it helps a lot for those people that
oh les gros blancs mec, c'est horrible.
Yeah, for sure. So that room that just went through, Jen, is there any like lore behind that or anything to explain why the water does that? It goes up, or is it just some crazy experiment shaper stuff of unknown?
Shaper stuff of unknown is a good way to describe it, yeah. I mean, the facility is underground and it's built around a giant shaper construct, right? So there's just a lot of very crazy things going on in there.
And so like this, like we didn't.
C'est ça ton explication de pourquoi l'eau monte? Parce qu'il y a des choses bizarres, folles.
It's on like the northern edge, right, on the map?
Yeah.
And so it's just super deep underwater in that area, right? Like it's not off somewhere different. It's like in the area of that.
Yeah, it's still relatively in the area there. For a lot of these, we don't necessarily always try to define exactly where it is on the map, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it would be like off the coast. Because this is, again, this is under
water. Cool.
Ok, il dit que le donjon est sous l'eau, on avait compris, c'est cool.
Maybe a little bit of
en gros.
A teaser here. Is this like a story of things to come, maybe in Anthem? Like, we probably don't want to get specific, but is this carrying on a story of anything, or did we just add this as
could be, yes.
Another stronghold just to add?
This has some connection to.
Ça c'est intéressant.
You know, it's an ongoing story, right?
Okay,
so
this
like
definitely is
connected to it.
Ok, ils disent que c'est possiblement connecté à l'histoire principale. Personnellement, je l'avais trouvé moi-même, merci beaucoup. Sûrement par rapport au cataclysme qui va engendrer des monstres. Enfin, moi, c'est ce que je dis. Hein. C'est sûrement lié au cataclysme qui va arriver plus tard. Et on va avoir de plus en plus de monstres bizarres, en fait. Donc ça, c'est une démonstration avec, par exemple, la furie géante. Donc ouais, ils disent que plus ou moins, ça va être lié à l'histoire. Donc ça, c'est intéressant. Mais bon, c'est pas vraiment une grosse nouvelle, non plus.
The launch bay or Fort Tarsus.
Yep, you can just, from end of expedition, you can just say, take me back to start of expedition.
Maintenant, il parle du fait qu'on peut relancer une mission directement après avoir fini une autre mission, par exemple. Donc ça, c'est cool. On l'a déjà vu.
Which is pretty cool. And then, you know, we have, for those who read the notes, we have a lot of different...
C'est con parce que la fille, Jen, là, elle montre rien du tout. Elle a pas montré la forge, tout ça. Parce que elle joue, hein, si j'ai bien compris.
Some players, trophy achievement that wasn't popping when you hit Arcanist Loyalty 3, I believe it was. So I think we've fixed a lot of the issues that were causing that, because some players were able to get it, not. We're going to keep monitoring that and making fixes where we need to on...
Ils ont fixé des problèmes, ok, cool.
We added some more universal masterwork components, extended sniper magazine, so helping with sniper
Ils ont rajouté 3 composants universels, ça aussi on l'a vu dans le patch notes.
That's not mine. I don't do that.
I told you, I was like, I just make the
level
donuts.
design. That's what it says under your name. Well, it doesn't say it right now.
Well, not now.
Your level design.
Just level design, yeah.
World
right.
stuff.
World, yeah.
That's right.
So, Jen, is there anything else you can share about like where your you know, you work on this with the Sunken and things that you were a part of?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think one of the really awesome things that we were doing with the Sunken was, you know, getting together as a team a couple times a week to just play through it and review it and talk about the things we were working on. One of the best parts was getting in there and having something new actually be implemented and have everybody go and have that wow moment and be really excited about it. So I can't say I really like that previous room that we were just in. So there was a Cataclysm brewing in there, and what you have to do is run around and basically interact with those shaper devices and get them all to sink into the ground. So it's a pretty tough to try and do by yourself. So it's nice you have teammates.
Yeah, I don't know if people
Ouais, en gros, ils disent que ce donjon-là, il est plus axé sur la coopération, en fait, de l'équipe. Et en gros, c'est ce que j'ai dit. Hein. C'est ce que j'ai dit pendant mon stream. Et ça, c'est bien. Ça, c'est bien.
Yeah, trying to encourage that group coordination, be able to move forward.
But so this room.
Allez, mec, parlez!
Yeah, AJ, more Dominion here. See, so one of the requests from chat, someone was asking AJ, when you get out of combat, if you could go into the forge just to show people how you can go in there.
It's not a speed run.
For people who haven't, we're not speed running here, man. Who haven't had a chance yet to see. I know there's some people saying like, we know we can see this in game, but
vas-y, montre la forge.
Who haven't had a chance to get their hands on it yet. All right, I'm going to do something dangerous, and a lot of people are probably going to say I'm very brave for this, but I am going to look at the chat.
Oh la vache, bonne chance, mec. Il va regarder le chat.
Does AJ exist in chat? No, AJ is over there playing the game.
It'd be very impressive if he could play and be in chat at the same time.
Let's see if there's anything else. So if anyone does have any questions for Jen up in Edmonton or Ben here in Austin, this is the time. I mean, to you know, get any of your questions answered on, you know, what was it like doing a the game or whatever. Because so, you know, what other areas have you worked on before? I mean, we're talking about the Sunken here, but would it be the other strongholds? That you
la mise à jour est déjà.
Prior to launch, I was
elle est déjà live,
in charge
ouais.
of the stronghold team, and so me and my team made all.
Depuis 3 ou 4 heures.
In the game.
Maintenant.
So that was extremely rewarding and challenging endeavor, to say the least. I feel like we were pretty successful, generally. You know, some minor bugs here and there, which you know, for better or for worse.
Oh, here's our first chest. Oh, so
Ok, maintenant ils vont nous montrer qu'ils peuvent accéder à la forge.
People may notice I always point out when we've got known issues. It shows he's a legendary storm. You might notice he doesn't have a legendary gear, just a display thing. But like, and another one.
Ok, c'est un bug de le fait que tout le monde soit légendaire.
Of some of the known issues, but his weapons
et les stats sûrement.
Showing a lower value than what people had. That's
ouais, les stats aussi.
Display bug we confirmed, so your gear isn't nerfed. It's fine, but yeah, as you can see here, he's in the stronghold and able to just go make all these cool changes and
Ouais, ok.
stuff
Donc,
around them.
ce que j'ai dit,
Yeah.
ce qu'on a vu
Also,
en
this is
stream,
actually AJ's Storm. We are playing
ils sont en train de le
online.
dire
This
que
is-
c'est vraiment des bugs.
and now- oh, look at
Mais c'est
that.
seulement des
That's
bugs
the
visuels,
man.
apparemment.
Step up from the one where you got
You
all
know,
purple.
but you know, because you were in the forge, and then the chest was open while we're in the
Oh,
forge.
yeah,
Like
so
conspiracy theories
I wonder
abound,
if
right?
conspiracy theory open up your forge menu. You should get upset at the other guys. Be like, come on, man. So I do see some people asking a lot of questions that we're not going to talk about here. So I guess I'll address this now. Shortly before this stream, you know, Ben and Chad had a post they wanted to
Not
share
me.
with the community.
I'm not Ben
Ben
Irving.
Irving and Chad Robertson.
He's got much nicer.
C'est juste visuel, la baisse de stats.
And we
ça
worked
affecte
with
rien.
them to put this message out there on. It's up on Reddit. You can read about it there. We're not going to go into detail about it here. It's probably best if you just read it for yourself there. It's gives an update on thoughts about loot and the 90-day calendar. A lot of different things in there. We're pretty honest with some stuff. So definitely go take a read.
Faut aller sur Reddit, tu te fous de moi,
Let's
putain.
see.
Va falloir aller sur Reddit après pour avoir plus de détails sur les
Not
choses
too
qui
many
ont changé.
questions. Oh, someone's like GM3 gameplay. No, this is GM1. We wanted to. This wasn't it. I know we talked about having a death counter and stuff sometime, but you know, we did want to actually get to some of the different areas. Talk
Right.
about them. But let's. So Jen, earlier you said you play test and go through this and make sure everything looks right. What does that look like from your perspective when you're playing through? Like, how do you just play through it, or like your involvement with how we make changes based on different?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's fun because we've got, we got this cross-studio development, right? So we've got some of the dev team here in Edmonton, and we've got some of them in Austin. So when we get together and play, we've got 2 multiplayer labs that we kind of set up, and we've got a couple people playing here and a couple people playing there, and we just talk about it as we're going through. And it's great because it's not just the 4 people who are playing, it's rooms full of people. So we're discussing things and talking about our experiences that we had in the game before and how this one measures up to that. And yeah, basically just
Donc, ce sont des incompétents, on est d'accord.
and experience it as players and seeing how it feels for us.
I got a question for you, Jen.
Parce
Someone
qu'apparemment,
asked,
ils testent bien leur forteresse.
Oh no, okay, so I don't remember what it's called, but it's this cool laser beam thing, and it's awesome. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Maybe Ben or Jesse knows which
Oh,
one
is
it
that
is.
on
Ils testent leur
Yeah.
leur
Razor
forteresse,
Blade.
d'accord, mais ils voient qu'il y a des
Yeah.
bugs avec les stats. Pourquoi pas corriger ça directement?
Yeah.
Pourquoi pas se dire attention, il y a un truc, faut qu'on travaille sur ça? C'est débile.
Oh.
I mean, you should be using your gear primarily because gear is
Absolutely.
Enfin, je sais pas.
the best in this game. Like, I barely use my weapons on my Colossus. It's all about flamethrower.
Merci Xantrax pour la page.
Yeah, like AJ was saying with Storm, he's barely used his guns. He's just well, now he's proving us wrong. He's no, I'm gonna use my gun now.
Yeah.
No,
I've been using the Interceptor a lot lately, actually, which is great. I'm totally all over the melee build, so I like stabbing ankles too. So you know.
On s'en fout ton histoire.
I'm grinding out a ultimate build on my intercept.
Yeah.
Which is just I'm ultimate all the time.
You know, I used to play Interceptor, and then I went Colossus, and it's all I about 90 hours.
I started a ranger after I
Là, ils sont en train de parler de leur vie. Alors moi, j'ai commencé l'intercepteur, j'aime bien. Moi, j'ai commencé machin, j'aime bien.
Colossus when I'm running multiple.
Qu'est-ce qu'on se fait chier.
So some other things on the patch notes, we buffed a whole bunch of weapons actually, which I was like, oh, that's cool.
Ok, maintenant ils parlent des buffs de certaines armes. Ça aussi, on l'a vu en patch au début du stream.
Talk about them a little bit, but increase the damage on
Ils sont en GM1 là.
of them. Same with gear. Patch notes are up, so I'm not going to go over the full values. If you get a chance, definitely go check it out. There's a lot of fixes. Also, people that used to like getting struck by lightning when they first went into free play. Sorry, that really shouldn't happen anymore. Especially in higher difficulties, it
People
could
don't
just kind of
like getting hit by lightning.
Well, some people loved it. You know, your javelin lands and then lightning strikes you, and it looks cool.
Not ideal.
Ah, on peut plus se faire toucher par les éclairs en free play? Putain, c'est con parce que j'aimais bien moi.
That's going to be the general consensus
No,
there,
probably
but
not.
I've been surprised before.
More lightning.
So,
Bienvenue à tous ceux qui viennent de nous rejoindre. On est en train de regarder ce stream qui est extrêmement chiant. Et j'ai honnêtement rien à... pas grand chose à traduire parce qu'il parle de rien.
There's 3 levels here.
Okay.
And there's an activity to solve on each level. And then there's combat, obviously, between those spaces. I think we just have the one left.
Yeah, so this is the puzzle that was in one of these 3 missions, right? It's like the turning wheels.
The DAX, I believe it was DAX.
Yeah.
The DAX missions, yep.
Yeah,
So it was used once, and we thought bring it back and
so
take
I know
a look at it.
For me, like I think AJ probably is the same. When we played through, I was grouped up with people who just kind of ran and did it, and
Right.
I was like, oh, what? I didn't solve anything. So like,
Right.
gives an opportunity for people to check out those puzzles, go in with a group and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes down to, are you in a fixed group, are you plugging, like, those have a big weight on your experience generally.
Là, il parle des
So, again,
puzzles,
that's
que
another
vous
thing
pouvez
we
faire des
try to
puzzles,
be
vous pouvez
somewhat
regarder
conscious of,
une autre personne en train de faire du puzzle. En gros, ce que j'ai fait en stream, quoi, tout simplement.
Yeah.
It's definitely a trade-off, but we thought that what we have here, again, is a good balance. Because really, I mean, ultimately, when we're doing level design and we're doing combat encounters, we're really looking for as best of balance we can get. Like, it's never perfect, but we discuss a lot about flow. Like, how's the flow? Like, how's the combat versus the non-combat spaces? How do we flow through all of these? How is the combat ramping up and down, even per encounter versus encounter to encounter? So, like, to what Jen was saying earlier, our process, the way that we typically create a stronghold is that we'll have a designer. In this case, Brian was essentially the lead designer on this, and he or she will write what we call PEX document, the player experience doc, and that's a pretty high level document that breaks down, like, what are the general themes, and what am I trying to accomplish, and they'll work with the writing to then obviously establish the narrative.
Là, ils sont en train d'expliquer quelque chose qui a rien à voir avec ce qu'on veut. Ils sont en train d'expliquer comment, en fait, ils font un déroulement. Ils font un déroulement du processus de créer la forteresse, en fait. Ça n'a rien à voir avec ce qui est prévu en stream. Merci beaucoup pour le Twitch Prime. Merci infiniment.
So there's no narrative in it, there's no writing, but it is, generally it's sizing for how much art we got to spend here, what is the distance of traversal, things like that.
So whose idea was this room? With all the
again, one of the things we wanted to do here was lean a lot into the fact that this is a giant shaper construct and there's a bunch of weird stuff happening, which is why you have, like, I'm swimming up a water tube and I have a lot of hazards.
AJ, just do it, man. Just go first.
So this is
go for it.
A thing that some of the level designers came up with, and we talked a lot about the Resident Evil scene where the laser grid slices people up. I think it's turned out really well.
Ok, j'avoue que cette portion du jeu est vraiment cool. Et ils ont dit qu'ils se sont inspirés un peu de Resident Evil, tout ça avec tous les lasers, le premier film que vous avez sûrement tous vu. Donc cette partie est vraiment cool, elle est bien designée. Mais au final, la forteresse est bien. Ça on le sait, il n'y a pas besoin d'en parler, quoi. La forteresse est bien, on l'a vu.
So usually when we do things like this, we want to give a way for someone that can assist the rest of the party.
Are you trying to get someone else to open it? Do this, just open it and then back away. Really.
Ça par contre, les mecs qui font des blagues entre eux pendant le stream, alors qu'ils vont streamer seulement 1 heure, voire 30 minutes, ça c'est chiant ça. Faut que ça aille plus vite les mecs. Faut vraiment que ça aille plus vite.
Is there just one? This is the last room before the boss, right?
I believe it is, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
This is a much bigger room than some of the other ones it looks like.
Yeah, again, like we wanted to get vertical and have a room that wasn't focused on the exact same type of content that you've been fighting. So this went through a couple iterations through the development process, and eventually we land with a lot of turrets. Fly around, there's a lot of turrets.
Bienvenue à tout le monde. On est en train de regarder le stream des développeurs de BioWare.
If you guys had an interceptor, you
On est en
know,
train de se faire chier,
Get
honnêtement.
up close and
Might
personal
have-
with
might
it,
have-
set those combos on.
might have helped a bit.
Doing
Not
all
bad.
No, you're doing a great job.
Storm is very good in this room because you can fly for quite a while.
Indeed. I still see people asking the questions where, you know, I wish more people were asking questions on, you know, some of the design stuff. I know some people probably are like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't-
care,
I
but
think
those
it's lost
answers that
on
you want
some people.
on
Il
things,
espère que
yeah,
les
go
gens
read that post we
pose
put
des
up.
questions par rapport au design de la forteresse. Il n'a pas compris que la forteresse, il n'y a aucun problème. Elle est très très bien, j'en ai déjà parlé.
But, let's
Elle est
see.
cool, elle est
This is
belle,
just-
les mécaniques
yeah,
sont
it's like after
cool.
he collects all the echoes, right, it's just,
Elle est vraiment sympa, mais faut qu'il parle d'autre chose. S'il est en train de meubler jusqu'à la fin de leur stream, c'est une abomination, quoi.
Cool. Now we can talk about this last room.
Right, and to me, this is
Ils le font très très mal leur stream là en ce moment.
the creation of it was kind of all about this.
Ah, le meilleur stream c'était avec un Chris, le mec il s'appelait Chris quelque chose, il était un peu fort. Et le mec il parlait très très bien, il savait de quoi il parlait et tout, c'était super ce stream.
Water wall here.
Yeah, the first time I took the
Mais
I
là,
drew
c'est
up that
chiant à en
water
crever,
tube there
quoi.
and came out into this room, I was just blown away.
Yeah, it looks
Amazing.
really cool. Oh, where's the bad, the unfathomed?
So
There he is.
scary.
He just comes out of the water, and what happens if you go on the water? Does it stop you?
You can't go in the water, unfortunately.
Mais pourquoi Jesse va demander si on peut aller dans l'eau? Mais il est con ce mec. On peut pas le faire, mais il le sait ou pas? Est-ce qu'il... Ah non, mais lui il est pas vraiment développeur, lui il s'occupe de la communication d'Anthem. Donc il demande. Mais mais c'est des questions qu'ils devraient déjà préparer avant leur stream en fait.
Yeah, they're. I mean, this is like I said, we're playing on live game, so AJ's got some pretty good gear. I know these other guys probably got some pretty good gear. Do you have any? Let's see. So who designed the fight on this?
Qui c'est qui a design le fight? Mais on s'en fout.
One of our combat designers, Michael Carter, designed this.
Okay.
And I really like the fight a lot. For me, the phases are very, very distinct. They communicate well what you should be doing. So I personally enjoy it a lot. And I think this is kind of an indication of where we want to go with boss fight, you know, continually to evolve our craft and get better at making these for Anthem,
cool.
and
Just
upping the stakes and, you know, getting them more dramatic and larger, more interesting creatures and all of that stuff, right? So
AJ just got shot in the face.
got shot in the face.
No, that's cool. Like, instead of just, I think players probably like that instead of just, you know, bullet sponge boss where you just shoot
Hey,
it
they
until
can.
it dies.
I'm sure they'll tell us one way or the other if they like it or not. But yeah, I mean, we don't want to just put a meat bag with 5 million. We want less monitor.
Bon, en gros, pour ceux qui comprennent pas, il parle tout simplement du design du fight, qui voulait pas faire un boss avec 3 milliards d'HP, et il voulait faire un truc plutôt sympa avec plusieurs phases. C'est ce qu'ils ont fait, et c'est ce qui est cool. Honnêtement, j'aime beaucoup le combat, moi, personnellement. Donc oui, ils ont bien fait là pour ça.
Get at those balanced targets earlier, so that we won't have to rely on essentially trying to tune it once.
Right, definitely. All right, I'm gonna venture in and I'm gonna look again if anyone has any questions.
Oh putain, regarde pas le chat, mec.
Looking like no, but
it's odd. They don't want to talk about level design.
Yeah, people are talking about, you know, they don't like the bullet spongy enemies, the GM2 and 3.
I agree.
Yep,
100%. Yeah, it's you know, a lot of those are we need to get them better.
To the guy who said pre-recorded, we are not pre-recorded, we are live.
Hello.
Il y en a qui ont dit que c'était un enregistrement. Parce qu'ils répondent sûrement pas au chat, en fait, vraiment.
Michael Carr. He's in Edmonton?
Oh, he's in Edmonton. Okay.
He also did the monitor fight.
We've got someone who got knocked down. Oh.
Yeah, GG de mettre la protection alors que la boule reste.
Oh no, AJ's getting
Putain, ils sont nuls en plus.
You know what? This would be good though if the boss dies. We can show a new thing that we added, which is when the boss dies, if there's people who are downed.
Right. So if they were to defeat the boss
He's
right now.
no.
they're
Are you guys gonna wipe?
The
Oh mon Dieu.
Rookbane. That clutch.
Oh mon Dieu.
If, oh, you 2, 1, you respawn.
Oh, there you go.
Hurry, AJ! But yeah, when you if the boss dies and you're
Right, so that's a change we made in this patch. Is that now when a stronghold boss is defeated, if anyone is down, they will instantly be rezzed.
which is nice.
Because it was extremely frustrating to kind of do that race where you're trying to get rezzed to be able to collect your
quickly
loot
pick up
and
your
stuff
loot,
like that.
and if you have a key, at least you can cash. Which,
Right, exactly.
I do want to put out a little announcement about that. Of you remember before where we said there, timer in game you can see for how long they are. The stuff that's in there is going to go away eventually.
Right, the
with that
Elysian
timer.
caches will go away.
So when that timer's going down, I forget how many days we're at now, but like use up your keys if you got them.
Right.
Don't save them. They will go away. So I would hate for players to lose out on that.
Right. Don't hoard the keys.
Yeah, someone's
No
like,
point.
why no flying boss?
Maybe in another stronghold or future content, we very well might see a flying boss.
Ils parlent de boss volants,
And I see a
et ils ont
couple
dit
people saying
peut-être
that
dans
some of the
une
fixes,
prochaine forteresse. Donc
that we
en
said
gros c'est plus ou
aren't,
moins jamais quoi.
Down.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, good job.
Someone even brought a
Masterwork.
key.
AJ was. Oh, someone used the key. Yeah, you didn't get your. AJ did not.
Aussi ils ont parlé des clés lyséennes, si vous les avez, utilisez-les, parce qu'elles vont disparaître en fait une fois que les jours auront fini. Parce que vous avez genre une centaine de jours pour ouvrir les coffres. Si vous l'avez déjà fait, ne gardez pas vos clés, ça sert à rien parce qu'elles vont disparaître. Donc ça c'est bien de le savoir.
We're working on getting fixed. We're going to try to be better about that. Instead of doing one reply here and there, we'll just have a central location of, yes, here are the known issues, so you can know that, we're working on them. But I think that's about it. I mean, the last thing, while we're talking here, we can do it on gameplay, but just showing how AJ could launch into another activity there, mission. So Jen, any parting words from up there? Or it's cooler than Austin?
Actually, it's pretty warm out right now. The grass is starting to turn green. So if anybody's wondering about the weather in Edmonton, it is not snowing.
On s'en fout du temps.
I know you guys kind of had a long winter.
Every year.
I was kind of like,
On s'en fout du temps. Arrêtez de parler du temps.
But yeah, Anthem-wise, it's just it was an amazing experience working with this team to get this stronghold out to all of you. I'm actually quite new as a producer. I was a QA lead all through Anthem launch when we were working on the launch game. So it's been just amazing. It's such a talented team, and I'm so excited that we got this done and got it out to everybody.
It's great. Love it. Anything else, Ben?
No.
No, Ben's
Hopefully
like, I'm a man of few words.
I hope
I'm
generally
good,
that everyone
but
enjoys the stronghold.
Yeah.
And I'm happy and looking forward to hearing their feedback as we continue to make more content and hopefully make it better as we go forward.
Yeah, and we'll just close saying, if you join later, go read the Reddit post, see the messaging that we put out there, and we'll be in touch with when our next live stream is going to be. And hopefully no cable cutting, so we can actually show you something before it comes out. All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks guys.
Until next time.
Thank you.
Ouais, c'était bien de la merde, waouh, la vache. Pas déçu de ma déception, c'est pas mal celle-là. On va regarder ça. Alors... Désolé si la musique était un peu forte, on va baisser un peu. Ça c'est la 1, ça c'est ce qu'on a eu. Act calendar, une Alors, les choses qui ont été retardées. Donc tout ce qui manque. Donc tout ce qui manque en fait. Mastery System, donc ça c'est le système avec le niveau du pilote, donc ça a été retardé, les guilds ça a été retardé, les missions légendaires phase 2 ça a été retardé, les challenges des forteresses ça a été retardé, le leaderboard, donc c'est le classement, ça a été retardé, les nouveaux free play, les nouveaux événements de partie libre, ça a été retardé, et le cataclysme. Ça va pas être le mois prochain, le cataclysme? Tu te fous de ma gueule. Merci à toi pour cette patience hors norme. Bah de rien. J'ai rien à faire dans ma vie de toute façon, donc ça va. Oh mon dieu. Oh la vache. Concerne endgame loot. Ok, ils vont améliorer le système de loot apparemment. Donc on sait pas quand. Communication. Apparemment ils vont moins parler parce qu'ils disent qu'ils ont appris leur leçon par rapport à parler de choses trop vite. Donc en gros ils vont encore moins partager, j'ai l'impression. Ils vont se concentrer sur la stabilité des bugs, les fixes de bugs. Eh ben. De toute façon, tu joues mieux que les devs. C'est pas difficile, honnêtement. C'est vraiment pas difficile. C'était prévisible, ils sont trop en retard. Ouais, enfin quand même, il y a des... C'est pas des développeurs indés, hein. C'est pas des développeurs indés. Par contre, je vais juste regarder un truc. Est-ce que les actes ont changé sur la page d'Electronic Arts? Non. Bien. Les actes n'ont pas changé. Tout ça, c'est de la merde. Tout ça, ça n'a pas été changé encore, donc c'est de la merde. En avril, on devait avoir tout ça. Système de maîtrise, on l'a pas, c'est décalé. Nouveaux objets, voici, on les a, on a 3. Des événements partie libre décalés. Décalé. On a eu l'englouti. Décalé. On attend l'acte 2, c'est bien. Et normalement, début du cataclysme, c'était mai. Donc apparemment ça aussi c'est décalé. Donc bah merde quoi. C'est limite foutage de... Non, honnêtement c'est de l'incompétence. C'est de l'incompétence et quelqu'un qui dirige très mal l'équipe. Je pense que c'est ça surtout, c'est qu'il n'y a pas vraiment de tête. Le problème, c'est qu'il n'y a pas vraiment de tête qui pense en fait. Et du coup ça crée plein de problèmes. Il n'y a pas de leader en fait, il n'y a pas de gros leader.